I tried to tell you. tried. I literally tried to plead. I tried to explain, but it's always not it. I lost my voice, by the way, from screaming. I screamed in the Lerone fight. I also screamed in the house of. Listen, man. When you try to tell like a community something and they don't listen, it's so satisfying when you get it right. I haven't felt this great since Magomed Ankalaev, Alice Pereira. Guys, I said Khamzat Chimaev is different, and now we understand what I meant. Now, when I kept saying and posting about Khamzat's cardio and saying things along the lines that Khamzat's cardio is one of the best in the UFC, people kept saying I was dumbfounded. I remember getting comments like, did you just say Khamzat by decision is possible? Are you dumb? No, I'm not dumb. I think you guys were dumb. I kept trying to preface in my videos, guys, that I feel as if Dricus is so used to wrestling off strength and like lacking technique, you know, and when he goes in there with someone who's actually really good, and I kept saying that I say already, I say he's the best wrestler I've ever seen in my life, because he is. I've never seen someone as good as MMA wrestling as Khamzat Chimaev, or wrestling in general. Like, I swear, I've seen him go with these fucking Olympic guys in the MMA sequence, and he looks way better and just way stronger. Now, I did say that Dricus through Plessis was going to be like bigger physically, but I kept telling you guys Khamzat will be stronger. And when I said Khamzat will be stronger, people were a little bit upset about that. They were like, what do you mean? He's not going to be, Dricus is too strong, dude. You know, stupid stuff like that. This fight wasn't, there's a lot of people saying this fight was so boring, dude. This fight, first of all, Khamzat won a 2v1. Let's get that situated. Let's just associate this now. Let's talk about it now. It wasn't a 1v1. It wasn't mano y mano. It wasn't Khamzat versus Dricus Duplessis. It was Khamzat versus Dricus Duplessis and Mark Goddard, who kept trying to stand up this fight and ruin it. Kept yelling at Khamzat to advance position. Khamzat would advance into crucifix, advance into full mount, advance into half guard, and he was actively always landing strikes. You could say, dude, it was peppermint patty strikes. You can't separate a fight when you're getting demolished. It's DDP's job to get to a hip and force a scramble. And we're going to talk about how bad his defensive grappling really was in this fight in a little bit. But the point I'm trying to make with stupid Mark Goddard, and I actually want to make this a talking point of a video, is that Mark Goddard needs to be gone. I will not rest. I did already drop my tweet on it. But I don't know, 100K, whatever views is not enough. I need the world. I need this video to get like 1 million views. I just need everyone to know that this guy cannot be officiating anymore in fights like this. You can't tell a guy to advance position or do something when they're actively landing shots. They're actively doing something. They're actively advancing positions. Do you know how hard it is to get someone in crucifix? Getting someone in a crucifix is like I just bitched you move. It's embarrassing. Anyone who knows anything about grappling understands. It's almost like getting cradled and fucking wrestling and pinned off that. Getting put in a crucifix is just showing a significant skill gap. Now, when you're in a crucifix, you're doing nothing but taking shots. Dricus, it's your job to move. I've even seen Dricus getting frustrated sometimes, going to his corner, like always getting frustrated. It's your job to move, you dimwit. He's looking at Goddard, and Goddard's giving him a way out. Listen, you're getting your face smashed in your bad position, but I'm going to have to separate you guys. Come on, get up. Dude, that frustrated me because even it gave Dricus his biggest moment where he had like a stupid clobbing 1-2 that actually landed on Khamzat, even though he ate it, you know. It was literally Mark Goddard trying to give DDP a Hail Mary situation when that should never be the case. A referee can't do the work for the fighter. The fighter has to do the work, which goes to, let's talk about the game plan of Dricus. First of all, his coach, my guy is not going to lose to a one-dimensional guy, right?
You can't think that you're going to beat my guy coming with one thing.
My guy. Oh my God. The amount of my guys I had to listen to from this buffoon animal, this stupid South African, because he believed that my guy, his guy, Dricus is so much better than wrestling. We're not going to run from the wrestling. We're going to engage in it. I wish Dricus shot a takedown so that Darce choke. There's actually a point of the fight where Khamzat like lets go of Dricus early, and then Dricus tries to scramble, and he gives up a Darce choke, and Khamzat has it locked, but the round's over. Dude, oh my God. And I really blame Mark Goddard for separating it, because I swear there could have been finishes found if he just let Khamzat keep transitioning. Now, I'll give Dricus credit. He's good at defending. His BJJ is not bad. His defensive BJJ is not bad. What I kept talking to you guys about was defensive wrestling of Dricus. I kept telling you guys it's 50%. Like he's getting taken out by strikers and destroyed by Brunson. But Kenny, Brunson fatigued. But you don't listen to me when I say Khamzat has one of the best cardiovascular gas tanks ever. Because you look at Burns' fight, you look at Usman fights that he took down Usman all 3 rounds when Usman had like a 97% takedown defense. He's a way better wrestler than Dricus. Dricus is so clumsy, guys. He has 2 left feet. You know, he was smiling after every round. Disgraceful performance. You know what? I'm not going to cook him too much, but Dude, this fight shouldn't have been, but like it's almost like you get someone off the street with really great defensive BJJ. The fight look exactly the same. Get the guy with like a great defensive BJJ, like one of these fucking people in UFC BJJ. They will defend the chokes and get their face punched and get put in crucifixes. You know, the only thing that saved them was the physical, you know, attribute of Dricus, because he's strong. He's a strong dude. He was a lot bigger. Listen, I said on fight night, if you guys watch my lives, I said before, Dricus is going to be visually bigger, but Khamzat's going to be strong. And you guys keep talking about I glaze Khamzat's back. Dude, you glaze his back. Why are you glazing his back and his hips? I kept saying, when you have heavy hips and a heavy back, it makes it easier to have someone in controlling positions. It's easier to control people. When you have a heavy back and you keep your hips heavy, because he has heavy hips as well, you know, and you keep the pressure on the top half of his body when he's like going for a submission or arm triangle or anything, that's what makes you so strong and so good at controlling people. So people don't understand what I meant. It goes in one ear, out the other. They don't actually understand what I'm talking about when I say stuff like this. Guys, I really mean what, like, things I say, I mean. Like, I understand that if he gets him in a crucifix position, what was Dricus doing? Bucking, which would work against someone with, like, a lack of heavy hips. Like, no offense to Bilal Muhammad. I'm about to talk about him real quick. First of all, Khamzat, if he goes down to 170, he kills JDM. But against JDM, he would have controlling positions, but he didn't have heavy hips or heavy upper body. So he was kind of like, JDM could buck at his hips and scramble off. That could never work with a Khamzat Chimaev, ever. You can't buck off. Dricus was trying. Is Dricus way stronger and like more fit than a JDM? Yes. But you're not going to buck off, because if Khamzat had fucking, no offense to Bilal, I'm not trying to throw Bilal under the bus, but like Bilal hips, he went flying when DDP did that because the strength of Dricus Plessis. Khamzat's one of the heaviest fighters ever. So he had full control of this fight. 21 minutes of control time. UFC record has to be. I don't know the stat. I didn't want to say UFC record, but I know it is because I never witnessed this before. 50-44 was a wrong scorecard. That shit was a 10-8 round every round, maybe except for the 5th round. This is me being so transparent, non-biased. You know, there's a point where he landed 1 significant strikes in the first 4 rounds, I swear. You know, whatever he wanted to do, he did. Now, I want to roast the coach a little bit more and talk about Dricus' lack of actual defensive ability on the ground. He would get put in side control. You know the first thing Dricus would do? He would cross his legs. This is a I surrender position. You're going to control me, but I'm going to chill. He crossed his legs. I saw Chase Hooper do it too. Not Chase. I think it was Chase Hooper. Someone in this car was doing it too. No, it was Michael Venom Page, not Chase Hooper. Michael Venom Page. He would cross his legs when Cannonier had control of him, and it's almost like a surrendering position. I think it was MVP. I don't really remember. I don't really remember who did it, but when you cross your leg, essentially, you're literally like saying, okay, you're controlling me. I'm probably not going to get up, so I give up. So he'll cross his legs, try to take a breather, because he was actually more tired than Khamzat. Believe it or not. Khamzat has better endurance than Dricus. Especially, surprise, better grappling endurance. You know, because he made Dricus use all the strength. You know, I ain't gonna lie, Dricus used a lot of energy. So the fact that he was even standing, you know, his blitzes wasn't blitzing. Khamzat had a really good game plan, man. People don't understand the IQ behind the game plan of Khamzat, guys. The little knees to the legs, he was taking away the explosivity. So when Khamzat was standing a lot, like, he wasn't able to just jump into a 1-2. Because why? He's getting his fucking hip and his knee and his leg just need. He didn't have that explosivity. Khamzat had I don't know who drew up the game plan. You know, Dricus, Plessis, and my guy. You know, the coach, my guy. Fucking loser, by the way. He's supposed to be great at game planning. But yes, you're good at game planning against strikers, because like I said, goofy styles work on the feet. I try to explain to you guys. You guys don't like listening to me. Goofy styles work on the feet. You can't out goofy someone on the ground when they're significantly better than you. I try to tell people, but they just think I'm just saying it out of hate or something. Like, I don't like Dricus. I told you guys, I have no problem with Dricus. He's one of my favorite fighters. Anyone else would have been rooting for him. It was just that I understood how much better Khamzat was. This guy looked lost on the ground. He was giving up positions. It almost looked like an unfair matchup to a point where I literally thought to myself, it shouldn't have been booked. And I don't think this was a boring fight. I don't like you think it's a boring fight because you put money on Dricus Plessis and you lost a lot of bread. You know, I was having fun in the fight. You know, you gotta credit Dricus and not fault Khamzat. Dude, like, people are saying, I was mad because the fight was this or that. I'll be real. Dricus had great defensive BJJ. Like, he was defending well. He was defending the chokes well. Was he getting mauled and embarrassed and destroyed in front of people? You know, South Africans probably watching him, staying up late and stuff. Sure, you know, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, that was just credit to Dricus, but credit to Khamzat for showing the flaw that he had apparently was not a flaw at all. Khamzat Chimaev, what's scary about this is that the fact that he did this and why I was pushing for him to do this so bad. I kept saying in my videos, I pray and hope it gets out the first, because I know he's going to beat him because his endurance is crazy. The reason I was pushing for that so much is because I hated the narrative that every single fight was the same story with Khamzat. Dude, after the first round, it's wraps. That's what everyone's saying. Now, people like Guru who said that, these idiotic people like MMA Shay, all these YouTubers that you guys think know ball, they don't really know shit. Shout out Bedtime. Bedtime's one of the few people I remember who did say Khamzat by decision. Me and Bedtime, the only ones who even put that thought in the air. I think Bedtime's official pick was actually by decision, and I didn't think that pick was wrong at all. I said sub or points because I understood that sub was probably likely, but I wouldn't be surprised if he beats him by points. But what me and Bedtime understood that these other YouTubers don't is that they think that Khamzat's cardio is bad because they look at Gilbert Burns fights, but they don't even remember in the Gilbert Burns fights, it was primarily on the feet because Khamzat gave up his guard because Burns actually has a really good guard, and it was a primary striking match, and he didn't even tire in that third round. He continued to walk him down, which is why I made the whole video about the misconceptions about Khamzat, the bad cardio because of the Burns fight or the Usman fight. I'm telling you guys, his cardio is special. Now that he went the distance, we will not be seeing... The betting line is going to be crazy for Khamzat nowadays, but we're not going to be seeing things along the lines of if Khamzat doesn't win in the first round, it's over. Because now we understand how good he is. I will say, Dricus is not a best defensive wrestler, so there are more challenging fights than Dricus for Khamzat probably. I don't know. I was going to say RDR, but I think that guy's kind of mid, man. He's just strong, just like Dricus, but strength doesn't win fights either. He is better than Dricus, though, in his grappling, I think. But I don't know. He's like, no one beats Khamzat, it's just, I don't know, man. No one beats him, dude. Like, I want to move my camera a little bit to show you these stats. I'm going to minimize that. Look at that. That says 529 to 45 total strikes, by the way. He near, like, it wasn't a fight. It was a whooping. I felt like it's illegal. Did I watch something illegal? I don't know. They rewarded Khamzat with 0 sub attempts and they gave Dricus 1 sub attempt. I really don't know what that means. Like, hold on. What the fuck are they on about? I guess the sub attempt on the guillotine that he failed, but Khamzat was definitely attempting some rear naked chokes. Sometimes it looked like Khamzat was attempting rear naked chokes, and sometimes it looks like he actually had a rear naked choke in, but then he let go of it, or maybe it was like too sweaty. He knows something more than I do, but yeah. Like, I really thought he could have finished that fight with some chokes. But people trying to act like Khamzat was boring. He wasn't looking for the finish. What fight did you watch exactly? How much time did he attempt to choke? How much time was he going for ground and pound on a crucifix, landing some good elbows, trying to chase a finish? The whole fight, he chased a finish. You can't knock him for chasing a finish in the whole fight. The only one who could get knocked from this is Dricus still knocks. Do Plessis. Let's start knocking the guy who still knocks. Because I'm still knocking him to this day. Khamzat had him in the dominant positions. He was the one... how can you guys blame Khamzat for a boring performance? You got to blame Dricus and his coach for thinking that they can last with this guy in the grappling and getting embarrassed. There's no one else to blame. Khamzat did nothing but raise his stock. He's a superstar. I don't care about the cope you guys are saying on Twitter. I'm not buying it. You guys, I know people get supposed to cope in the comments because you pick Dricus. Like, dude, still boring though. Khamzat's literally one of the most entertaining fighters in UFC history, and you know it as much as I do. And you're not going to want to acknowledge it because it's going to make you feel stupid. It's going to make you feel bad, because you were so wrong about this pick. And what makes the people who pick DDP more worse is that they said that it's going to be because of the endurance. And Khamzat doesn't have that. You guys can't get out this cope, man. I'm sorry. That's why I'm not allowing this cope to just be a thing. I'm not allowing people to say, oh, it's boring now. Oh, my God. Well, all he did was use his grappling. Dude, you guys said he was going to fatigue. He didn't. You guys have to cry about it. Guru's already having his meltdown on Twitter. He's having a he had his guy. He has his guy, my guy. Dricus Duplessis winning. Just because you interview him and all that shit, bro. The whole jump, I seen Dricus was nervous. The way he acted in the ceremonials. Khamzat was saying, "I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna smash you." Exactly what he did. Khamzat Chimaev, I could talk about him all day, and I just want to keep pressing the point that I told you so, because I want you guys to feel dumb for doubting me. All the comments, man, I want you guys to feel dumb. Khamzat went in there and made it look like roses and bubbles. Like, he literally could have went for 6 rounds. Dricus looked more tired than him. You know what Khamzat did good? He made Dricus exert more energy. Dricus exerted way more energy because everything was doing I'm bucking, I'm jumping, I'm trying to move. And what was Khamzat doing? Heavy hips. I'm going to hold you with these heavy hips. You can buck all you want. You're not going anywhere. I know you're not going anywhere because you're not as strong as me. And I saw Dricus in the post-fight interview cope. He said, I don't think it was a strength thing. I think it was something kind of like, shut up, it was a strength thing. He said something about he doesn't think it's a strength thing. He just knew what he'd do with his body. Yeah, body weight transfer. That's the truth. I told people that he's going to have that advantage. He just knows what to do with his body, But, I'll give Dricus credit. He did have one scramble in the 5th round when Khamzat was wicked tired, where, he got like more elevation. He ended up on top, which is where he got into full mount, and then he tried to get the finish on Khamzat. That was a really good scramble by Dricus, and why he won that scramble was because he was maybe a little bit fresher, but as well as the fact that he was stronger. He kind of got used his weight to his advantage there, and kind of muscled Khamzat to the ground there. It's because Khamzat was kind of spent at that time, you know, and it gave Dricus an almost had plot armor moment. So good for Dricus there. He didn't get fully embarrassed. He just got so embarrassed that he should probably not show his face on the internet for like maybe 2-3 months. But Drake is still a great fighter. I'm not holding anything against him. It's just that there's levels to this shit. So I'm going to leave it at that, bro. Khamzat Chimaev, I'm probably going to have more videos dropping on him tomorrow because I could talk about him all day, all night. Khamzat Chimaev's the man, and he shocked the world but didn't shock me with that endurance. Co-main event. Oh, chat, if you see my reaction for this one. Oh, he knocks him out! Yes! Yes! Let's go! Lerone sleeps this bitch ass frog! What? Yeah! He gets slipped! He gets slipped! Yeah! Wow! Yes! Shiba! Oh my God! Sleep that nobody! You're not your Michael Chandler doppelganger. You run like an idiot. You're Bellator reject bum. You're nobody. How dare you come to my promotion in the UFC and think you can do shit in there? Too skinny, bro. You fucking blow. Fuck off. Back to your fucking cave. Wherever you came from, go over there. You're running forward. No defensive ability. Show no kind of improvement. You're an idiot. You're a caveman. You walk forward to a spinning elbow. Eat the octagon canvas. You fucking idiot. I almost feel bad how rude, how mean I was to Pico, but yeah, brother. I'm telling you guys, he got knocked out by someone who's like literally not known for knocking anyone out. You got put on a highlight reel from the highlight reel list. Like, this guy doesn't know what a highlight reel is, then you got put on the highlight reel by Lerone Murphy, spinning elbow, get slept, get embarrassed. Oh, I was so satisfied, bro, man. Oh, man, all these people on the Pico hype train just because, yeah, dude, I'm Pico hype train. He's so cool, dude, man. He's so cool. Yeah, he's so cool, man. Yo, you guys try to, like, hardcore pick. Guys, I don't know when people are ever going to learn. These Bellator bums, these rising bums, bro, we're going to talk about Skur a little bit. Bro, these guys are coming to the high level and get embarrassed. I don't think Lerone's that good. He looked stupid in this fight to me. He looked goofy in this fight to me. He looked like he was, like, I don't know. He folded into pressure. He like stumbled over. I don't know if he got caught early or stumbled, but the way he slept Aaron Pico, he needed that humbling because this guy was running forward with no defensive ability. He thought he could just break him with pressure, but he forgot with people like good pressure fighters like Marab and how do you want to talk about Strickland? I could talk about Strickland, man, later, but he made a whole tweet talking about, dude, I don't want to get off topic, but he made a whole tweet talking about he's the only one who could beat Khamzat in a 5-round fight. I just want to backhand his ass. Anyways, back to this. This guy Pico thought he could just walk forward with pressure and just break someone, but the best pressure fighters like Strickland, I'm gonna give him credit here. He doesn't get hit much because he's defensively sound. Marab is good at like evading shots and slipping. You know, Sean Brady, Bilal at times. They're good at pressuring, but like staying a little bit defensively responsible. This guy literally was just walking forward with his hands down. I'm so glad you got spinning elbow. It was so satisfying to see. We had I remember Wade Plem was so high on him, bro. Wade, man, quiet down, brother. You know, so many of these guys just think that it was going to be an easy fight for Pico for some reason. And it's not that Murphy's good, trust me. Am I going to pick Murphy to beat Volk? You must have lost your bald-headed mind, you know? But I just think I just knew he was better than Pico. I was surprised he knocked him out, but I thought it was going to be like a points. But, you know, I said Lerone by KO points for a reason. I was thinking if anything else was possible, it was a KO. He gets a first-round KO and sleeps this absolute fraud. Fraud checked so bad. You got takedowns, but I told you guys he's going to take him down, but he's going to get up every time. Lerone's really good at getting up. Aaron Pico's not really good at controlling people. He's strong. He's Michael Chandler, bro. Just pressure, boxing, wrestling. Then I'm going to get myself knocked out. Michael Chandler 2.0, welcome. Both Bellator bums. You know, even like these are Bellator champions. Like these people like Patchy Mix and stuff. You know, all these guys are Bellator champions coming in fraud check. And you guys thought a Bellator bum who's beating nobodies will beat Lerone Murphy. May God have mercy on her. So easy win, easy prediction. Not surprised at all. Prates versus Neal, I knew it was going to be a 50-50 fight. But the way Prates knocked him out with that spinning elbow, dale. I'll give him that. That was really clean. He sleeps Jeff Neal at the very end of round one. That had so much aura behind it. I wasn't even mad that I got this pick wrong because it was kind of clean by Prates. I knew it was going to depend on which person shows up at their best. I thought they both showed up pretty well. I thought Jeff Neal showed up well. I thought Prates showed up well, but they were both having moments, you know. Prates still has that like thing he does bad where he kind of shells up when he gets pressured. Dude, he's not going to beat a Bilal or like a Sean Brady, but he'll beat like a Jeff Neal with some good power. Jeff Neal said he's not going to get out the first round. He was right, just he was wrong about who's going to win. Prates lands that spinning clean elbow. Literally 1 second left. That was so dope. I'll give the fighting nerds on this card, I'll give them credit. They did good. I'll give them that. But Carlos Prates gets the win. Very clean knock by Jeff Neal. I don't know who to give Prates next, but Just don't give him someone good or he's going to lose. Moving on from that fight. MVP versus Cannonier. I doubted my guy MVP, and I was very happy with his performance. I thought Jared Cannonier was going to go in there. He's going to use the clinch. He did. But guess what? MVP's defensive wrestling. We got to start talking about how good Ian Gary is, unironically. Ian Gary, he beat Jeff Neal comfortably, schooled Prates in a 5-rounder, and he beat MVP. Ian Gary's good. For another topic, though. MVP is so explosive and good. People want him to stay at 185, guys. I'm going to say it. He could be a 170 champion. I think he schools JDM very easily, guys. I don't see a world where JDM beats this guy. What's JDM going to do? Wrestle him, dude. He went against Jared Cannonier, who's a lot stronger and a lot better at wrestling than JDM. And he showed that I don't get taken down easily. I think he got did he slip or something in the 3rd round and end up on top? I think it was a slip or some sort of scramble. He ends up on his back. And he does a good job not getting choked, which is good. At least he shows that I'm not going to get choked or finished even in a bad position. He got mounted, all that. So I'm proud of MVP, man. And man, he's just difficult to deal with. His understanding of time, distance, and stuff, it's so crazy when you're in front of him. I feel like Jared Cannonier thought he was going to have a good game plan until he was in front of him because this guy's blitzes and overhand his power. I was very happy to see MVP. Sometimes you just got to be happy when you get picks wrong because you love the guy. I think he's going to be 170 champ. I really believe no one at 170 can beat him. We'll see how Islam does against JDM. I'm sure Islam's going to wrestle him, but, dude, he's not easy to take down. Strong people at 185 are struggling now. But when he does get taken down, someone like Islam probably has a chance to finish him. He's able to slip through his guard. But I'm telling you, man, MVP has a chance to beat every 170. I'm not even trying to be that guy, but he's really good. His takedown defense is improved, and on his back, he might be lost to it a sense, but he's still really good at avoiding getting submitted. So he's good at not getting finished, and his power is still slept on. MVP, brother, he's something special, brother. Trust me, dale. Bro, Asakura versus Tim Elliott. I think everyone and their mom got this pick wrong. Dude, Asakura, man, his striking's fine. His defensive grappling did not improve at all since the Pantoja fight. I thought he lost to Pantoja because Pantoja was really good at grappling and his grappling was mid. But it turns out he's really bad at grappling. Not really mid. He's just really bad. I don't know what to say. His grappling's really bad. Fuck. Dude, was he crossing his leg when he got taken out? Someone was crossing their leg this card. I got to remember who else was crossing their leg. I think it was Asakura who was crossing. Yeah, it was him. He was crossing his leg when he got taken down. I remember that. And even in full guard, he was just surrounding position. It was you. You cross leg mother. It just means he's surrounding position because he's lost on the ground. When someone's lost on the ground, the easiest way to pick up on it is that they're crossing a leg and they're not trying to get to a hip. He was not trying to scramble to a hip. Tim Elliott just submits him, bro, after losing the entirety of the fight. Asakura was so much better on the feet, but this guy needs to understand this is not boxing or striking. This is MMA, man. Don't know how you became champion of Ryzen. Don't know how bad that company is, or maybe there's no grapplers over there. I just don't understand how bad you looked in this fight, dude. Tim Elliott shocks the world. Old man skill, goes in there and just makes Asakura look like Asakura. Boy, get the fuck on, bro. I'm done talking about you. Here we go. Khamzat's training partner, Surzakaya versus Eric Nolan. I got to be real with you guys. This guy's not that good to me. I gotta be so real. He gets the finish. I'll give him the submission finish victory, but Eric Nolan was kind of putting it on him, wobbled him in the end of the first. He's just so smiley. He was so cocky, but he wasn't that good. I'm glad that he got the finish, got his aura back a little bit. Dude, he lost all chat. He said something about trying to start a chant about, hey, Danny, you say you don't know my name? And he started a chant. Absolutely no one in that arena knew that kid's name. No one in the arena knew his name, so it was fuck, dude, he lost so much aura. He lost aura from smiling in the first round, getting his ass whooped the first round. Then he gained it back by getting this submission. I lost it all again when he started that chant. He's not that good to me, guys. He's one of those technicians, but he's not that technical, so he's not that good to me. Don't think he's that good. I'm sorry. He gets the win, but I'm not on a hype train at all. He's gotta grow on me a little bit more. GM3, Michael Olajaychik, another Fighting Nerds W. I don't really want to talk much about this. Jeremy Shaw looks like doesn't want to be there that whole fight. Kind of got embarrassed. Kind of was trying to Crone Gracie Max, embarrassing fight. Olajaychik cleaned up that bum. That guy needs to retire. Jessica Andrade, Lupi Godinez. Great easy win from Lupi. I thought it was 2-1, maybe 3-0. Lupi, kind of easy fight to predict. I knew Lupi's boxing was going to be problematic for Andrade. Andrade was just, look at that mug on that girl. Hey, Sheba. Easy win from Lupi. Woman, WMA, who cares? Jeez, I'm going to talk about this for a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Hooper and Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez. Hooper, I feel like we all hyped up his striking, and his striking didn't make improves. It made leaps and bounds improvement. He's a little bit more okay with striking, whereas before he used to just turn around, try to grab people, come here, dude, let's grapple. And now he strikes a little bit more. His striking It's not that it looked really bad this fight, guys, but it looked how it always looks. But he just went against a more explosive, athletic fighter in Alexander Hernandez. He just showed him like, dude, I'm explosive. The second I saw him blitzing, I understood like it's over. I actually put live money on Hernandez by knockout, because the knockout on the money line, because I knew he was gonna knock him out. Chase Hooper's chin was so high in the air, you know, he's like he was asking to get knocked out. And he runs into a beautiful shot by Hernandez, sleeps him, destroys him. Easy win for Hernandez. Chase Hooper back to the drawing boards. I'm taking off that do-rag, revoking your black card. Mama, brother, mama. Edson Barboza versus Dricus close. Close fight, clear win for Dricus close. Edson Barboza just looks old. Doesn't look like he should be in there anymore. Some old fighters in this card should never fight again. Edson Barboza, one of them. GM did one of them, you know, and that's probably it. But Edson Barboza just didn't look that great. He had a decent game plan initially. He was winning the first round, but Dricus close used a smart game plan to just pressure him, clinch him, and outwork him. Good win by Dricus close. Karine Silva, Barboza. This was one of the best scorecards ever. It was clear 2-1 Silva. I don't know why anyone was even coping that Barboza almost won that fight. Barboza had positions, but she wasn't doing anything. She had like a full guard position while she was getting her head destroyed by 12-6 elbows and shit. Positions don't win fights. Strikes and damage do. Karine Silva cleared 2-1. Was not a robbery at all. And I'll buy Idris versus Joseph Morales. I actually went for the underdog Morales, and I wasn't surprised when he won. This dude, I don't even know the hype. I think he was getting hyped because he was from Kazakhstan. No, because what else was he good at? Joseph Morales goes in there, beats him by submission round 2. Great win by him. What a card, what a day, and what a time for Mr. Kenny, bro. I'm so glad I literally aced these picks to a T, and I'm glad that everything that happened, it happened the way it happened. Dude, this guy, Dricus, he needed this situation. Dricus fans needed this humbling. Khamzat Chimaev gets it done, makes it look very easy. This is one of the easiest main events to ever pick, and I hope people understand when I say, don't doubt Mr. Kenny's come back to these videos. We're just too good at them. Khamzat gets it done. That's it for me. Let me know what you think about this fight card down below, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.